Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round number 18 of the RSF1 Tier 4 F4 racing series around Russia. I completely forgot what I was meant to be saying there, but as you can see, we've loaded in. We've got a glitch. We were set in our car. We were sat in our car. Was ready to go on the load up lobby, and as we loaded in, it decided to put us into spectator mode at the last second. Nothing I could do, and I think it's done it to a couple other drivers as well. But as you can see here, we're trying to go through and select our car. Won't allow us, so we're going to have to exit the session. We've exited multiplayer. We've loaded back in. We're now allowed to drive our car, which does feel very weird. So I don't know if there's like a weird glitch when you load back in, and it just feels weird. We've exited again because we had another weird little glitch mid-session. We're back in here at the end of Q1. We've obviously done a lap. That's in P6. It's good enough to get through. And as you can see there, confirmation, it is good enough to get through. And Locker in P8 as well is having the same issues. Now, I've loaded in and looked at my car. And, yeah, I'm not allowed to take control of it. So, we're going to have to exit the session once again to see if it allows us to take charge of our car. Which I don't think it will. And it doesn't. We load back in. We're in spectator mode. So, we're going to be out in Q2, even though we did a lap good enough to get ourselves into Q2. We're not actually allowed to set a lap in Q2. This is a glitch fest and it's absolutely ridiculous. I cannot stress it enough how stupid it is. And at the moment, I don't know why we're watching Primus doing a lap here, but for some reason we are. But I'm very frustrated. I'm in the session, obviously. Oh, I was watching just to see that I would show everybody I was in the session. And here we are, the end of Q2. Obviously, Locker was not allowed to do a lap either. So me and Locker both get screwed. And Cornish gets pole with his Racing Point teammate, Alco Science, in P2. Front row lockout for Racing Point. Now, yeah, it's a very frustrating one for me. And the glitches and the problems do continue for us into the actual race. And as you can see here, we're giving up the 5 red lights. Go, go, go. Here for the Russian Grand Prix. We're hoping to literally just, do what we can considering. We're having issues with the game glitching on us. It's glitched on us since the start. And as you can see here on the start, we just backed off. We were not playing any games. We're not getting involved in whatever's going to go in at turn 1. We just want to get to the end of this race. A few people probably will retire. And we'll just get to the end of this race and pick up some points from this. Well, it's damage limitations, guys. Before we even started the race, it's damage limitations. We're starting lower back than we should be. And we're also dealing with glitches and a car that feels very, very strange going into the race. So, we're just doing what we can. Everyone else in front of us is battling and we're just holding back. We are not getting involved. We're staying as far back as we possibly can. And as you can see, we thought about going for a move there on silly foul or sack. But decided against it. And we're just sitting here for now. We're not going to make any stupid moves. We're not going to do anything daft. But here on lap 1, we're realising right now that we are pushing at this moment, but our car does not feel right. And for some reason, something was going on. Since I rejoined the session, the car has felt very peculiar. So we're just sat here right now, just trying to understand what's going on with the car. And seeing if it comes to us. It might just be cold tyres on the mediums or something. But then again, it just feels weird. But we've just hit the back of Silly Foul, I believe. And it says we didn't get any damage, but later on in the race, it will come up saying we've got line damage. So I don't think the game can make this mind up. But now, we're still following Silly Foul. We've dropped back a bit, and he's hit the curb. And he's gone around after jumping on the inside curb. And it looks like he's hit the wall. He's got damage, unfortunately, for him, which will result in his retirement eventually in this race because he's frustrated. But there, Primus came in out right in front of us. We didn't see him until the last minute. We were trying to figure out something with the car again. And luckily for us, we did see him in the end and we went around him. But as you can see now, Primus Gaming is out of the race. And his teammate, Old Mansy's had a little mistake as well. Old Mansy's right beside us now. Are we going to go around the outside of him? No, because we don't have the confidence of the car and the grip levels to do so. So we're just sitting behind him for now and seeing what we can do. And as you can see there, as I stated earlier on, Silly Foul has retired. I think he's put it in a wall somewhere, and unfortunately for him, he is out of the race. Now, we're having to go at Old Mansy with a bit of DRS, Bridge Mix and PRS, but we still don't feel like we've got the straight line speed. I don't know what's going on with the car, but we just about make it stick. We've run slightly wide on exit of turn 1, but we just about get away with it. We're up into P9 for now. Obviously, if we finish today's race, we'll get points. So at this point in the race, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, let's just nurse this car to the finish line and make sure we get the points. And as you can see here, we're not even using the RS or Rich Mix. We're just letting old Manzi have a go at us. We're not even attempting it, and we back off slightly down the throttle and allow him through. And we're down into P9, but it doesn't matter for us as long as we get points from this absolute disaster fest of a race where we're struggling with the car performance, the glitches, just basically every problem you could probably, you know, see coming in a game. And the reason for all of this, I believe, is because it's late into the game cycle, and they've given up caring. And as you can see here, we're swerving down the back straight. We're just weaving to see if we can get some sort of feel in the car. The car feels awful at this point, and we're just struggling with everything. There's no grip, there's no straight line speed. I cannot an apex. I cannot like get any acceleration off the corners. It just feels dreadful to drive, and it's all because like rejoining the session glitch after the multiple other glitches we've dealt with. And as you can see here, at the last second we decided to dive into the pits, and we slow down. We put our limiter on, and then for some reason the game makes us speed in the pit lane when we didn't. We had our limiter on, and it's made us speed in the pit lane. So another glitch to add to our multiple glitches we're dealing with right now. It's absolutely ridiculous what we're having to go through in this race, and I'm fuming. I'm absolutely fuming at this point. I've already given up. We're up to 8 seconds of penalty now. The 5-second time penalty we will serve later when we pit again. But it's ridiculous. That speeding in the pit lane penalty shouldn't have happened because I didn't speed in the pit lane. I put my limiter on, and then it's when we got over the line, the game accelerated me over the point of the speed limit. That ain't my fault. But because I served it in the race, it ain't gonna matter because the 5 seconds has been added on to my time, my race. It's stupidly frustrating, and I don't know how to approach it in the future. But if the game is going to be this glitchy, I think I'm just going to stop racing until next year's game comes out, because this is absolutely ridiculous. It's been ridiculous for me from the start to the finish here. I've dealt with probably every glitch you could probably hope for in this game, and it's so daft. It's not my doing, it's not my fault, and yeah, what can you do? As you can see here, first sector on this lap, we went purple, but then obviously we got caught up with fish sticks right in front of us, and we've lost a little bit of time. We go green middle sector. But yeah, at this point of the race, I'm frustrated. Now our teammate's right in front of us. I'm hoping at this point he'd let us through, but he decided not to yet. He stays just in front of us, but he does back off the throttle going down the main straight, I believe. Well, you'd hope he would anyway. He's just in front of us now, holding us up. He's on the medium tyres, we're on the softs. The grip difference is ridiculous. And as you can see here, we get on the Rich, we get on the ERS. We're going to open the DRS as well. And I believe one tribal does back off the throttle slightly here. And he does. You can see he just eases off the throttle and allows us through without him losing too much time. And now we're up into P6. But obviously we've got 8 seconds of time penalties right now, which I believe does go up to 11. And there you go, it does go up to 11. Now on the back of fish sticks, can we make a move on fish sticks, who has no penalties right now? So we are literally 11 seconds behind him because of the stupid penalties we've received. I don't mind the time penalties because they're things I've done wrong. The speed in the pit lane penalty is ridiculous. I didn't speed in the pit lane, simple as that. But the game is broken. But yeah, we make a move there on fish sticks. I didn't talk too much about it because realistically it doesn't matter, does it? He's still trying to go around the outside of us though. At this point he's got to use his brain and realise that he's 11 seconds up the road from us because of our penalties, and he does. He just backs in behind us, pulls in behind, and accepts that he's lost the position on track. And we continue now in P5 for the moment. And as you can see here, this is where we just decide, well, what's the point? We've got 11 seconds of pens. We move to the side, let those two drivers through, Old Manzi and Fish Sticks. And now we're down into P7, but it doesn't matter anyway because we're running down in that position anyway. And now you can see we're swerving again to see if we can get some sort of feel in the car. We move to the side now and let one tribal through. We lose about 3-4 seconds there doing so. But realistically it doesn't matter. Like I said, we're at the back. Now we're coming in to serve our 5-second penalty. We're going for the fastest lap. And one thing I did realise after doing this pit stop is they didn't repair my front wing, and I wanted to go for the fast lap of the race. So what I decide to do at the end of this lap is I come in again, get the front wing repaired. I decide to absolutely cruise into the pit lane. We do get lapped, but now you can see we're coming out. We've got a fresh front wing. We've got fresh tyres, completely new. Let's see if we can get the fastest lap of the race. Now, you would expect us to get the fastest lap of the race, considering we're on the freshest tyres. It's the end of the race, lowest fuel. We've got a full ERS system to use, and we're going to burn all of the ERS on this lap if we can, as much as it will allow us. We're going for the fastest lap of the race. And as you can see here, coming down to turn 1, we try and brake as late as possible. We do. We've managed to not exceed the track limits, because I don't know if that takes away our lap. Now, we're perfect through 1 and 2. Into 3, well, I think it's 2 and 3 actually. This is turn 4 because the other kink counts as turn 1. Now, turn 5. Expertly get it through the corner perfectly to 4th gear. Accelerate with a little bit of ERS help. Go purple in the first sector. Perfect through there as well. We don't even lose the back end at all. Now, can we nail this corner? This way we can lose a lot of time or gain a lot of time. We get it perfectly. We're gaining on the leader in front of us, who has lapped us, obviously. He's on his final lap of the race. We're on our final lap of the race because we've been lapped. Now, coming around here, we missed the apex slightly. There's a little bit more time to make up there, but we're still absolutely on it. Now, can we get purple second sector? We turn off the ERS there slightly, just so we can use it on the exit of the final corner. And brilliant, we're purple second sector. Can we get something out of this race and get a purple final lap of the race and go fastest? We haven't had one of these in our league racing career. This would be lovely to have. We hit the curb too much on the inside, lose the back end slightly on exit in the second part. But as you can see, Elko is just in front of us. But luckily, we've just realised Ghosting's on, so we're fine. Come around the final corner. Can we nail the final corner? We do. And we go purple with a 33.004 as Elko Saints wins the race right in front of us. We were 7 tenths faster than anybody else there with that final lap of the race. Brilliant from us. At least we get a point for that. I hope you've enjoyed. I've been Chris.